Hello, welcome back to my channel. Now I've just seen the point of this channel is just my opinions on things that I've seen. I'm not one of those YouTubers who can stick in clips. You know, I can't edit videos. Obviously, I don't have a setting. I'm just a random woman spitting her shit. All right. And I feel like I need to spit some shit because I've not seen this anywhere before. I've not seen it in the news. I've just watched a video by Novara Media that was posted 3 days ago, where showed a clip of Keir Starmer, Adolf as he should be known, because this is just ridiculous, right? Saying on national TV that everybody on long-term sick should be looking for work. And damn straight, I'm going to have an opinion on that. I am one of these people, right? Now, it's all well and good them saying, oh yes, everybody should be contributing to society, right? We all contribute to society in some way, shape or form, right? This whole you have to go out and you have to work 5 days out of every 7, you have to give your life to the government in order to be seen as having a valid place on planet Earth. You know that that's wrong, right? So they're saying these people with no limbs and shit like this we all should be looking for work. Now, I have multiple sclerosis. I've had it for 23 years, right? Now I manage mine quite well because I thankfully don't have to go out to work. I am on long term. I've been given 10 years, right, before I have to go through the system again. Now, what they're not, what the on this thing, they're going through the numbers and what the budget is for this and what the budget is for that. And we need to take that out of the equation because we're talking about human beings here, and I don't see the humanity in it, right? Now, what we need to remember is that the Fit for Work scam is just that. Rich people are making a fucking fortune out of bullying the sick and disabled, right? Yes, there are going to be people that bloody flaunt the system. There always has been, right? And, like one of the things is like a lot of the people are younger and suffering with mental health problems. Now, who's that on? Who is the mental health crisis that our country is currently going through? Who is that on? Right? The shit that we are meant to live through. Like, I'm getting anxiety about this just after watching that one thing. Now, this man promised change, capital letters, their slogan, change, and that is what we've seen. They have come for the pensioners. This winter is going to be fucking brutal. We are going to see a huge loss of life due to that man's words. Obviously, he's just issuing the orders that he's told to. Yes, the Tory government was fucking evil for 14 years. Keir Starmer is worse than the Tories. One man, and he's meant to be batting for the other. Actually, apparently he is meant to be batting for the other team. I heard the rumour going around, and couldn't give two shiny shits. Sticky dick where you bloody want. But your thoughts and opinions, keep them to your fucking self, mate. Now, you're gonna have, it is gonna be horrible if they do that again. I remember I fought for 15 years to get disability benefit. 15 years of my life fighting these people, and now I'm gonna have to do it again. When I've got MS, which only ever gets worse. Now, let's just take me, for example, and put me in that circumstance. My health is going to deteriorate so fast just from jumping through hoops, by having to go and sit in meetings with people who sit there and that they don't know why they're doing it. I went with my son in what was the name of the company? But it was like a kind of in training kind of thing, which is what I went through. And he went for his meetings with this woman, and she went through the list of the questions that she asked to ask, and he told her what he was doing and all this. And it was just people being employed to be employed. These people, the job that they didn't actually go, right, okay, well, there's this job here. Would you like to go for this job? Oh, how about this job here? They just went through a list of questions. What have you done? Where have you been? Now, we've obviously got to factor into the equation the fact that the jobs just aren't there anymore, because especially since the pandemic, right, Rhodabollocks, as I call it, how many companies went under during that just can't employ anybody? Where are these jobs? You're telling all of the people that are sick and disabled that they've got to go for jobs that able-bodied people can't even get because there ain't enough jobs. How is this going to work? Now, you put me in a work position, and literally within a couple of days I will be fit for fucking nothing. I cope because I sit down all day. Now, if I'm out and about and having to do stuff, I'm going to forget everything for a start off. My memory is pants at the best of time. But when I overexert myself, I get confused as fuck. So you're going to get me in a shop stacking shelves, and at some point in time, I'm going to go flying into them and send them everywhere. And then the able-bodied people are going to have to help pick me up, pick all the stuff up that I've knocked over. How the hell are you going to get somebody with 1.5 arms to stack fucking shelves? Because the only jobs out there now for regular people are retail and IT. That's all that I was offered when I was in training. And it was the having to go and have these meetings. Literally, it fucked with my mental health. And anybody, he doesn't know what it feels like, A, to be disabled, and B, to be bullied by the establishment. This guy is coasting on an easy life, and his job is to enact orders from above. And I've said it on all of my videos, like, if you've been here before, it will only get worse. And it only has got worse. We voted in this spam-faced twat, hoping for change. And we've got it. We've got it. He is a fucking little lady. The guy is a dictator, saying, I will not be dictated to on the winter fuel payment. Everybody in the country, nobody wants the elderly's winter fuel payment taken away. But Keir, sir, investigate immediately, because we all know what club a lot of those people are in. It's like he just sits there in a lofty little room and goes, do you know what? People are starting to think for themselves, and this is what it comes down to. You have to be a slave to this system. You are not an individual human being. You are a number on a piece of paper, and you mean nothing to us. And in fact, there are too many numbers on that piece of paper, which they've all fucking come out and said, and people still don't bloody grasp it. They don't want us to be human, because if we're human and if we're not consumed with stress 24/7, how are we going to pay the bills? How are we going to make this appointment? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? How am I going to fit into this system that is designed for people not to fit in? Oh, mate, I do apologise. I know that I'm a bit all over the show at the minute. I am still suffering with this head injury. I really need to ring 111 because something's wrong in my head. like we didn't know. But I couldn't not say something about this, because this is going to drive people to suicide. The way that they have always run us and got progressively more boot on the neck with has already cost lives. Huge amounts of people have taken their own lives because they can't add the numbers up, and the numbers belong to them bastards. And Keir Starmer is their poster boy. He is a good little... Do you know what I mean? He is doing exactly what Massa says he's got to do. And he's a fucking Freemason. He has to be. Sorry, that's by the by. But literally, we have opened our doors to the world. No, you have not. No, you have not. And she's off again. But yeah, I think it's utterly despicable. Yes. And like I said, I'm already suffering with anxiety just at the thought of it. But I have no doubt that they'll come through with something like that. But ultimately, these jobs, these people who are employed to put that boot on the neck, are working for big companies like Serco. Serco own In Training. And these people have shares in these companies, Deloitte and whatever. Like that, they have shares in these companies that get the government grants. The government is going to end up spending more on bullying people, just like the TV licensing thing. Read a thing yesterday. This young woman was prosecuted, given this fine, and she was in hospital, sectioned in hospital under the Mental Health Act. And people behind closed doors, they got a closed door policy where magistrates sat and just issued this shit. These people are being paid a fucking fortune for being inhuman. What people will do for a fucking wage packet, and they're now reinforcing, if you don't get a wage packet, you are not a functioning member of society. And that's bollocks. It's the energy that you bring to the world that makes you a decent member of society. These magistrates sitting behind closed doors and being paid a fucking good wage for sending out fines, that's not humanity. The people who did my fit for work bloody tests weren't acting humanely. And when you ask them how they got into that job, it's like, oh yeah, well, I was doing this, but these pay way better. So I think it was 60 or 70 pounds per person that these people got paid for doing a fit for work interview. The people will do anything for money, and money is the opposite of love. And the way that we bring these people down is by upping our energy, by making our energy positive. We neutralize their negative energy, and they are making it harder and harder for us to be able to do that. So while we still have a chance, we need to be coming together and we need to be talking about this. Otherwise, I've been doing this for 17 years, mate. And literally, I've been saying the same thing for 17 years. I've been calling these bastards out for 17 years and nobody listens to me. I spoke to a really good friend last night, and he does watch my videos. Obviously not all of them, because he's saying stuff to me, and I'm like, you wouldn't have said that if you'd watched my videos, because this is literally what I talk about in all of my videos. And we're just not listening to each other. We're not speaking to each other. We're not conversing. We're not being human. We're not being their opposing side. We're not doing what we need to do. And what we need to do to take them down is to be their direct opposite, energetically wise. Now, I know while I'm talking about, real day-to-day shit, numbers and jobs and whatever, the thought of spirituality don't gel, these two worlds, and they're not meant to. But them bastards up there know what we are, and that is why they're making us the opposite. They're feeding us fear. Every day I come on at the minute to and stick my computer on, it's everything's, there's this, the Marburg virus has come out now. They're fucking sticking that fear in there because obviously they want uptake on certain things because it's that season. And so they want, and there's 3 of them that are coming out now, the Rona, the flu, and this RSV or RP, I don't know, respiratory virus, something. It's like, and then they've got another one today saying, the NHS has said that it doesn't matter if you're fully topped up, you can still pass and contract COVID, give COVID on. The NHS is saying that. So what was the point of it all? And why are they still giving them out? And why are people still taking them? The world has quite literally gone mad, and we need to be speaking about it to each other because this is going to see so many people suffering. They're not taking into account how these people are going to function in a work environment. You're going to have people having full-blown fucking meltdowns on the shop floor because they can't cope and they can't do it. They can't do what they're... And I've obviously, over all these years that I've had this, it is really fucking embarrassing being disabled because to the eye, I don't look disabled. I can still walk, thank you. But I can't function. I fall over. Like I've always said, I can fall over stood still on a flat floor. I am, who's going to insure for that? Who is going to insure for disabled people to be walking around like regular people? Are all of the shops now going to have bloody wheelchair access and whatever? How are they going to facilitate disabled people pushing themselves beyond their bloody limits? It is utter insanity, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I'll leave that there. I'm sorry if it's not really made sense, but I've just watched this video and it's a knee-jerk reaction. Maybe they won't go through with it, but the fact that he is thinking that, the fact that Keir Starmer is thinking that every single person, no matter how disabled they are, should be giving money, because that's what it is. The Fit for Work scam is just that. Huge numbers of money, of taxpayers' money, goes from the government to these companies that they in some way have some shares in, a lot of them, to force people, to make people suffer. I don't think that's right. And if you have any comments either way, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Please consider liking and sharing this video and talking to people about it. I had a lovely conversation with this little old lady uptown on Saturday. She just started speaking to me at the beginning of, we were stood at some traffic lights, and it was over 2 roads, and by the end of it we were full on, the pair of us, like, poor sod, she'd got really bad cataracts, and by the end of it we walked, I don't know, distances, 30 feet, something like that, and by the end of it I'd called him a spam face twat to her. She despises him like that, and agreed. Like, I met somebody, just a regular, normal human being. The conversation got into these bastards, and I bet you any money that most people that you speak to will think that geezer shouldn't be running our country. Everybody was up in arms because Rishi Sunak had money, right? Keir Starmer has a lack of empathy that is fucking petrifying. That man is going to do so much damage to this country, in my personal opinion. Let me know what you think. Thank you for being here. Like, as always, if you've stayed till the end, I owe you a bevy. And never forget that I love you all. Bye.